Hi everyone. So I met today Thibaut, and how do you say your name? Thibaut? No, Thibaut. Thibaut. And he's French, from a very interesting family in France. His grandfather was the mayor of Paris, who stopped the apparent destruction of the Paris from Germans. So I'm going to ask him who he is. Let him. Yeah.
I think about myself like this, and it gets me shy because I'm shy. It was easier when I didn't know it was actually recording. That's much more difficult.
Okay.
What I was explaining is actually the difference between the French school system, in fact, and I was in school until I was 12. And the difficulty there is that you put in a class that has many different people, and the levels are different. And so things didn't work for me because it was either too slow or too difficult, depending on the subject. And I got sent to England, and I'm a huge believer of the English educational system. Because of the fact that here classes are built from the highest level is A, and you have like 40 students because they're meant to be more. I mean, they're just meant to be better. For example, you could be in an A class in actual French because you're very good at French. Being French, I was in the A class in French, of course, and that means it goes very quickly. You learn a lot, etc. And then if you're less good, so for example, if you're in the lower level in French, you'll be in the F class. And that is only 5 or 6 students, which means that everything is much slower and allows you to actually take more time to learn and all these things. And the system is based that way, which means that it's actually much stronger for students to learn and not be left on the side. And yeah, that was about the ecosystem and the actual English school. And then afterwards I went to Spain to study and work, and Switzerland.
What did you do?
In Spain I was a waiter. I actually went for stage.
Did your dad know? Did your father know?
Yeah, my family was in hotel business, so it was perfectly fine. It was part of my school, in fact.
Oh.
I'm getting stressed about speaking about myself. I can't speak about business, I can't speak about myself.
Okay.
It's not something I can do easily because...
Thibaut is actually a great guy. He just came out of nowhere to Sofia. Came out of nowhere to Sofia.
Guys, it's getting me warm. I cannot speak about myself. I'm super shy when it's me.
It's an amazing project. This co-working space is just growing, and hopefully it's going to grow in other places out of Sofia. And the way he does.
We've been told to go to Pakistan all day, haven't we?
The way he does the things is that he's actually good in everything, meaning that he's not an expert in everything, but he's good enough being understanding community, understanding co-working, understanding design, how to build something, how to
Hold on the horses so we can get his story out.
yeah.
Ta-da! So waiter in Spain, and then what?
Actually, I'll go back to what he says because it's very interesting. Just for 1 second. 1 second. Just a tiny parenthesis, because that's part of what I am, in fact. Is that all my life I've tried to explain that there's 2 ways. Either you become a professional at what you do, and it takes you 10 years, or you actually focus on trying to build a business. And this means you have to understand every single different level of the work that you have to do. You will never be the best at anything, but you need to know sufficiently, you need to know everything, every single aspect of what you're building, because that actually allows you to manage people and run people and understand them and feel their pain and help them and support them in the ways that you have to do. And so yeah, so I went to Spain to work, I was a trainee chef and waiter. Because I went to a school called École Littéraire de Lausanne, which is EHL, which is...
If you don't mind me talking a little bit about your family, because I'll tell you why. Most people in my part of the world, if they're born rich, they don't work hard enough, and and they think it's something bad to do. Whereas I've always found that the people who actually are born rich but still work hard, they actually have more chances to be super successful, like their parents, because they have a good network, they're raised in a good way, and at the same time they have the hard-working thing. That's why I was. But since you don't want it, we go.
I mean, what I'm explaining about my family is that I'm born what I call a lucky sperm. So I was born with money, but you don't deserve it. I mean, there's nothing you've done for it.
Right.
And it's super important to say. What I tell a lot of people a lot of times is that when you're born with money, which is luck of the draw, you have to work so much harder to give back, because who says that you should be born with like something easier? I mean, it's just easier to achieve something. You can be sent to a better school. You can be sent around the world to discovering more cultures, which allow you to progress faster. Usually your parents will be more educated, which means they will try to share that with you and make you win years and years and years of experience, because they'll be happier to share a much broader experience. And that's just not fair.
Okay, so waiter. Then
so
you
waiter,
start
then,
cooking.
I did a lot of different things. I mean, I went to cooking too. I lived in Switzerland for a while where I was doing my university. Then after the university, I went to Liverpool in England, where I decided to become a property developer. And so my idea was like, you get a flat, small flat, and you refurbish it, you renovate it, and then you sell it and you flip and actually earn money and get a bigger one, etc. Which still required some kind of amount of money to start with. So I went to work for 3 months at a time in like 4 or 5 different jobs related to property development, because in 3 months you understand 70 to 80% of the actual job. You won't be perfect at it, but you'll know enough. Obviously, if you want to become a programmer, for example, or any type of engineer or doctor, you can't do that fast. But for most jobs, you can actually learn the basics very quickly, and then afterwards takes years and years and years and years to become perfect at it. And so, before actually doing that in England, I came to Bulgaria because the property market was very good there, and I came to look for flats, and then I arrived, and then I'm like, what the hell, I'm young, I was 23 at the time, I'm not married, I don't have kids. I'll become a property developer and I'll just buy land and then start building something off plan and learn the job as I'm actually building my business. And so that's what happened in fact. I just moved in 3 weeks later, actually I was in Bulgaria, and that's how I started my first business. I worked there for 3 to 4 years, and then the crisis came. The property crisis, which hit the entire world, and for 6 months I tried to actually fight against it, building a call center to sell alternative investments, developing a business for 3Ds, etc. with actually partners at the time, because I was actually a partner in the business, I was not the main partner. And at one point you just have to accept that the tsunami or the wave is so big that you're just wasting your time fighting it. And so I left, I closed my business, I gave it all away.
By the way, like,
oh my god, I have to shave, guys. I've not been shaving for a long time. And I'm scratching my back. Sorry, we're having a double feed there. Yes, so I went back to France. I worked for an investment fund for a very short period of time. What I wanted to do is I actually wanted to test myself against the people which were very educated, because I'm not educated in fact. University was a failure for me, it was just not for me. And so I wanted to see if I am capable to be on the same level as somebody who's done years of university, been to the best universities and everything. And it was very interesting because I realized that actually university is not the most important factor. If you go to university, you're told how to comply, so to be thinking like everyone else. And in fact, by not going to university, you're forcing yourself to learn everything by logic, and it allows you to develop something unique, which then allows you to disrupt things, because you don't know how it's meant to be working. Nobody's told you how this works. You have to figure it out for yourself. It takes longer, it's sometimes more difficult, but the added value, if you actually crack it and get it right, is unique. So yeah, everybody has to start a business. Everybody has to start something in their life and shouldn't be afraid of failure, because if it's not this one, it'll be the next one. The most important thing is just never to give up, to work your ass off, and just to not listen to people tell you you're not going to make it. I mean, every morning I wake up and I think I'm going to reach the moon today. It's a day, it's going to be amazing. And the plans that I have for our business, because I'm not alone, of course, because alone you can't do anything. It's huge, huge. And it's a life goal, and maybe I'll never reach it, but who cares? I mean, I often say, you know, you have to aim at the moon, and if you reach halfway there, well, it's already an amazing achievement. So whatever keeps you going, whatever gets you excited, whatever makes you want to reach or do something in life, just go for it.
Ta-da! Thank you so much.
And you did get me to speak about myself.
Ta-da!
It's not easy.
Thank you, Thibaut.